Good morning, guys. It's October here in Texas, and basically that means summer has ended, thank God, and it's now relatively nice enough outside to come out here and work on your rig. So I'm out here today working on my FJ80 or FJ80 if you're real particular, and basically I just want to talk about obviously some leaking in the vehicle. Obviously with the weather changing, there's a lot more rain currently going on here, and basically with these rigs, some of them pushing over 30 years old, there's a lot of stuff that is taking place in the rigs, and from weather stripping going out and everything else. But what I want to really look at today is the sunroof and the leaking of the sunroof, from basically where it leaks from the sunroof down to the front of the truck and your drivers and passenger side floorboards. I kind of call it the Houdini leak because basically especially with the 96 and I believe the 97, maybe the 95, but the headliner is all of one piece, and this is kind of a big thing here, and I'll kind of get to that in a second. But basically there's no direct link between the sunroof leaking and water on your floorboard. And what I mean by that is there's no water on your seats, there's no the headliner isn't wet, anything like that. And basically if you read on all the forums for the situation in terms of your floorboard being wet, everyone says, hey, it's most likely your sunroof, and that's probably the case. But there's nothing that I found that kind of shows the line in which the water is traveling in order to get your floorboards completely soaked. And if you're anything like me, you just kind of want to understand how that works. So I've kind of removed a lot of my trim today, removed some of the headliner and all that stuff, and basically I'm going to show you, how this water is traveling. Now, just to let you know, if you want to repair your sunroof, obviously the first thing, Cliff's Notes version here, the first thing you want to do is obviously blow out the drain holes on your sunroof, and there's plenty of information on the internet, YouTube, all that stuff of how to do that. So like I said, this isn't more of a repair video, this is more of showing you where the water is traveling and kind of go from there. So let's take a look real quick. So getting back to kind of the main thing here, is the basically it's the headliner. So as you can see here, I've kind of removed a lot of the trim and stuff like that, and I don't work on cars every day, as you'll probably be able to tell by the end of this video. But anyways, like I said, the most important thing to understand how the water is coming from the sunroof to your floorboard is to understand that this headliner right here is essentially waterproof. It looks like it's made out of cloth, but realistically it's not. You can definitely tell that when you take it apart. So basically what happens is when the sunroof becomes overwhelmed and water starts to leave the gutter system and into the vehicle, it will then basically start to leak. If you could imagine the headliner being removed, there's some screws right here, but basically it comes out typically right about here relative to both sides of the vehicle, meaning the driver's side and the passenger side. And from there, that water will start to leak from here over to this trim piece right here. And this trim piece almost acts as a gutter system. And basically it will take this water, as you can see I've removed this trim, and it will basically allow that water to run all the way down to here, if you can see. And basically it will, sorry, I'm messing with my focus here, basically allow the water to run down to here, and then basically I've removed this trim piece and then really soak your floors and potentially rust out your rig, which is something we definitely don't want. So if you're like me and you just always wondered kind of, hey, how is this water traveling from point A to B in terms of the leaking of the vehicle itself, that's kind of the idea and the path that I found the water typically will flow on. Like I said, so hopefully this helps, and maybe it will prevent you from having to rip out all your interior and stuff like that to figure out where this water is traveling. So hope all is well. Cheers.